Hello, welcome back on RealCopStoriesVideos.com. 359 cop stories. Look them up. They're my babies. All kinds of stuff. I mean, foot pursuits, naked bodies, gang members, weird dogs doing weird things, dogs eating humans. Say that. Bodies exploding. Me being a rookie a bunch of times, scared half to death out there doing my police work. But please enjoy them. And on that RealCopStoriesVideos.com, we're over 180 now answers and questions. So ask me a question. Email me at, sure I get it up right, rsbcopstories@gmail.com, and we'll answer them directly, and then I'll also do it on video, which we're doing now. One question came in is, we dealt with handicapped people. All the time. Here's another one. Some of them are funny, some of them are kind of frustrating, especially for me as the officer. Where I worked, I was a trained officer, and I was working with a rookie, and when you work with rookies, I get a little side note here, you kind of have to be, well, we get paid for this, and I was the top one. I was in charge of 9 training officers, 8 of them, and 9 myself. So I was like the top guy of all these guys, and then they each team has a probationer. So there's what, 4 probationers, 4 young guys per car, and I had one. And you have to you should be on your game when you get the stripes and you're teaching. You got to be on your game. You have to do everything right by the book, because you got a guy sitting here like a sponge. I told you I started with a sponge this big. 35 years later, my sponge is this big. They're looking at you to see how things are done, and they're looking to see if it's fair, because they're new guys. They want to see if what they read about and were taught in the academy, and the way they want life to be what they want to be. They want to see if the training officers, senior guys, I had 9 years on, were doing what they're supposed to do, and we do. And so he's learning, and so I'm aware of that, very aware of that. And this wasn't the first probation; it was my 4th, actually more than that, about my 6th, I think. And on to do more, up to 10 before I promoted. So I thought I was pretty good at what I did. Okay, and so I wanted him to see what we do. Okay, now we're back. So we're doing patrol, and we're on SC, big complex there, and all the streets that surround it. And north of SC is a large auto club complex for people that an auto club. I won't mention the auto club's name. There's many of them. That doesn't come into play. Next door to that building is the Institute for the Deaf. Okay, I don't know if that's the name of it, but it's a deaf place for people to go there. Okay, fine. So it's on a major street. Well, they inside, because there's crime around there, and there's criminals that go into SC and other places. A big church there. There's criminals that just wander around, not homeless. Most of them is just kind of, they might steal a little, but these are actual criminals and wander around looking for opportunity, especially on SC, look for students with their cars open. They steal their radios, they steal their purses, opportunity type thing. They go into these places like the auto club and use their bathrooms and actually almost shower in there. Come on, okay? Or this institute, it's so bad that they had to put up a wrought iron gates because they had an interior parking lot in there, behind some really high stone walls, because these things were built back in the 30s and 40s, the old school. And so they put wrought iron gates up, so when people come in and out, they close the gates so that people wouldn't wander in there, and that way they can, at this handicapped place, the poor people that can't hear won't be victimized by criminals that prey on the weak, and that's what they do. They prey on the weak. Anyway, so get off on that. So I'm going down the street, and a lot of traffic, 3 lanes each way, busy, very busy. And here comes a car out of this institute. He backs into traffic fast. He didn't even look. He just backs out all 4 lanes. They're supposed to go this way. We're going this way. It's over here. So he just comes out across both lanes, back in. The 2 cars coming this way. I see one car turn sideways, slamming on his brakes. The speed limit is 45 miles an hour. Okay. He comes on our lanes. I'm 2 behind a car in front of me. They all slam on their brakes. And of course, I slam on my brakes. I'm looking in the mirror. Who's going to hit me? Everybody's kind of like, cattywampus, trying to get out of this guy's way. And of course, there's a center medium that you can turn, right? And now everybody's honking their horns, and as he puts it in drive, I come around the median, and everybody's looking at me. How often do you see somebody do something really bad, and then where's a cop when you need one? Well, we're right there when you need one. Okay, so they're honking their horns like this, like maybe I didn't see it. Well, I saw it, or I heard it, saw it. So I take off. And as I'm driving off, I hear horns honking. I assume they're happy that they see an officer chasing this guy. Okay, I don't know what that was for. I assume it's what it's for. As parting congratulatory honking, I guess you'd call that, from the people that almost got nailed by this guy. Okay, so I pull him over. Oh, and by the way, before I say pull him over, I hit the siren. I got the lights on. He's not pulling over. I tell my partner, get on the PA system. I grab the microphone, and I say, we got one. We might not be... Gotta remember now, I did not... Let me back up a little bit. I only been there about 3 months. I didn't even know this Institute for the Deaf even existed. Okay, it wasn't my area where I patrolled anyway. I was kind of in the peripheral area, or edge of my area. So I get on my radar and I go, give me a backup. I think we have someone's going to take off on us. Okay, and he's on the PA system going, police department, pull over, the police department, pull over, and nothing. So I go, okay, well, that's enough of that. So I got my siren going. I said, just be prepared. I said, and I'm trying to lecture him. He's out of the academy about 4 months. Says, okay, remember, you go after the driver, forget the passenger. I'll follow you wherever you go. I'll follow you in the car. I'm trying to tell him what I'm going to do because something's going to happen here. And one of my stories before, get off here, the guy in the side seat, the probationer, said he was ready to go. And when I pulled this scooter over for PCP possession, when I jumped out, this kid locked himself in the car. He couldn't get out. So, there's levels of being ready and levels of not being ready. So and I also told him, since the previous experience, make sure your door's unlocked. And he was like, later on, he asked me what was that all about. And I told him another story. But anyway, I might get into that later if not, I have time. So, are you ready? I'm ready. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to have a caper here. Another police car comes this way. He's got his lights on. And what he does is he comes all the way over and at an angle with his high beams and siren on, and he's waving at the guy because the guy's coming right at him. He's not in front of him, but he's on the side. Light went on. Oh my goodness! And I look in the mirror and I can see him look up in the mirror and the lights are on. What's wrong with this guy? So he pulls over. I walk up. These two guys walk up. My supervisor's behind me, SC graduate, ironically. And, I got our guns out. What's going on? And I'm yelling, get out of the car. Nothing. Okay. There's a passenger. He gets out. He can't hear. He can't hear. And I'm thinking to myself, what kind of crap is that? Can't hear. Everybody, mother's yelling. You got to be. He can't hear. What? Get over here. So he's coming. Put your hand. We don't know what we got. So we back up. We got radios on our side, and then I can hear her come back saying, no wants or warrants on the car. The car's clean. Okay, good. It's not a stolen car. Come back here. Cuff him. He goes, well, what? Cuff him. So the guy's complaining. My partner grabs and cuffs him. Sergeant walks up. What's going on? I don't know. He says. Then he tells me and the sergeant together. We came from the deaf. He can't hear. He's deaf. Oh my gosh. We look at each other. Oh, okay. That kind of everything fits into line now. Okay. He's not responding. He's deaf. Okay. So I walk up. He's looking at me, and he I guess I'm not an expert in this, but I guess if you can't hear, you have hard trouble talking. Okay. He was talking like a broken. And I'm not going to mock him. Let me tell you what he sounded like, just so you know. He's like, I can't, that kind of like really, like he can't hear himself. He can't, I got nods here. Yeah, it's really a weird, almost its own language kind of thing. Like, okay, come here. I have to give him signals. What am I, freaking, expert in deaf mute or something here? So I go, so he gets out. I grab his arm, point where I want to go. I go up on the curb. And then he stands there. He's like this. Okay, he's pissed. Okay, so this guy's over here, and I go, can you translate for me? Otherwise, I'll just leave you handcuffed. I started using a little aggressive tactics here I want to get things done here. I got 6, 8 policemen all standing around. Well, now the other sergeant already released the other 2 guys. He's off the side watching me. Remember now, he watches me, and I watch him. Everybody's watching each other. So then he goes, yeah, I'll do that. Okay, fine. Take the handcuffs off. And then he goes, tell him what he did. And I told you what he did. He's telling him. Well, I know this part. Okay, I don't need to be a hand gesture. What would you call that? A hand translator, whatever it is. I don't need to know how to do that when he's going. So he said he didn't do that. Okay, well, thank you, Captain Obvious. Okay, fine. So I said, well, tell him he did. And he goes, he doesn't like your attitude. He doesn't like my attitude? He goes, yeah, he thinks you're mean, and he's going to take you to court if you write him a ticket. He didn't do it. I said, okay. Now we got a thing here where, who's going to win here? It really is not really a win, but, he's all upset. He says he's going to call my lieutenant. He's already translating he wants to talk to my sergeant. But this all takes time because everything has to be translated, by sign language. So I want to talk to the supervisor. And my supervisor tells the translator, wait till you're done, then you can talk to me. Because my supervisor liked the way I did things. Okay. So I pull a ticket book and write him a ticket. Of course, he got a really brand new driver's license. Again, DMV, they only issue driver's licenses. They don't do any kind of enforcement. Maybe they should have given this guy a driving test. I don't know how deaf people can drive. How do you hear police sirens? That's my biggest concern. Or fire department sirens, or any sirens. I guess I figure if you got a pulse and you pay your fee, I'll give you the damn license. Okay, nowadays that's what they're doing, I guess. But anyway, So I wrote him a ticket, and then he says, he's translating. He says he's not going to sign it. So my sergeant grabs the translator. Tell him he doesn't sign, he's going to jail right now. Now he's getting pissed off, the sergeant. Yeah. Is he going to sign? Yeah, he's going to sign. So I come over, I'm pointing at got my pen. He looks at me, whoa. I can imagine if he could speak, man, he'd be throwing F-bombs like crazy. Oh well. So he signs. So I give him, here's his copy. Okay. You tell me, now he's talking to the he's being translated to the supervisor. When I say talk, you know what I mean. Okay. He's telling him I'm going to go to court. I want my sergeant's name. He wants my name, blah, blah. So this is going on for a good 4 or 5 minutes of this. Exchange information or whatever. Okay. So meanwhile, I got little things little secret here, not really a secret. Whenever you have, this is not really a side note, this is what the reality. Whenever you have a ticket, you have a bunch of copies. You have the book, and it has, I think it's 4 copies. Oh, it's on the old NCR paper, which is like a carbonless paper. The original goes downtown. The next copy goes to him. Another copy goes someplace else, and the last one stays in your book, okay, for permanent record. And what a sharp officer, I'm not saying I'm sharp, but an officer that was trained correctly would do, is when you have something that's extenuating, you flip over that ticket, and on the back you write notes, because if you go to court, you don't want to sound like you're making stuff up. You write all this down exactly how it happened. I'm putting down here that he was hostile, blah blah blah, 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 and roll it back of the ticket, and that way when we go to court, Oh, and by the way, he threw in things like I'm handicapped, you should let me go. Forgot about that. Okay. Don't you realize I'm deaf? You should not write deaf people. You should not write handicapped people. He was going on and on. Remember, he was throwing F-bombs and all kinds. Okay, so I wrote everything down, and then so we're done now. Okay. He said, "Are you done?" And I said, "Yes, we're done." But tell him what I told you. Please tell him. I don't know if you're telling me the right thing. Because if I find out you're not telling me the right thing, I'm going to arrest you for interfering. Okay. The translator. He's supposed to be helping, not supposed to be hurting. So I always told him from the get-go, just tell him what we say, even though you may not agree with it. Just tell him. That way, he needs to know what's going on here. Okay. Tell him this, that if he goes to, tell me you're going to go to court. If he goes to court, I wrote down everything he said, and I'm going to tell the judge that he tried to use his handicap to get out of this ticket. Tell him that. You going to tell him that? Well, you can tell him if you want. I'm just telling you what I'm going to say. The way, you save him a trip to court. He doesn't want to go. He looks at me. Looks over at me, nods his head, walked away. He was done. Got in the car, drove off. The supervisor comes over and he goes, whew. He looks at me and he goes, my supervisor had 11 years on, I had 9. He goes, is that a first for you? I go, that's a first for me. He goes, what kind of guy was an AO, wasn't he? I said, yeah. And then I go, I could tell by his hands. What do you mean? And he looks at me, what? Well, I've seen people do this, on television, Grammy Awards, Academy Awards. This guy was doing this, man. He goes, yeah, I picked up on that too. It looked like you could tell he was just flying a mile a minute. Obviously, he's trying to so many F-bombs as he possibly throw out there. So anyway, I don't know what the letter F is, but I'm sure if I knew it then, I would probably see a lot of the letter F up there somewhere. Who knows? But anyway, so that was my little. It's not necessarily a great story, but it's interesting, and I never had one since. The only one in my career of 35 years is a deaf person, and he had to be an a-hole. But hey, whatever. Never went to court, by the way. Never went to court. All right. Hope you enjoyed that story. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.